everyone. Welcome to Endpoint Pulse, the go to podcast for everything IT management and cybersecurity. Today's episode is going to be a special one. I am Seoli Kingsley, your host for this episode, and this is going to be a part of the Women in Tech series. And today, on this episode, we have someone very special, all the way from Greece, and she is the managing director and the founder of Channel IT. And Alexia, could you introduce yourself to our listeners?
Sure. Thank you very much, Julie, for this opportunity to talk to viewers, to our customers, and to women as well. My name
Yeah.
is Alexia Christofi. As you said, I founded Channel IT back in 1989. Today, I am actually situated in Channel IT's branch in Greece. Channel IT was originally founded in Cyprus. And we also recently founded a branch in Malta.
Okay.
We we've been managed engine partners since uh, 2006, and
Mhm.
uh, we're here to do some good things for IT and for women as well.
That's great. That's great. So, could you tell us a little bit about how your early days looked like? Like, how did you start Channel IT, and what was the vision behind like starting Channel IT? In Greece.
Sure. Uh, my goal after I finished
Mm-hmm.
university was to get into business as soon as possible,
Mm-hmm.
and also help out my family. That was very important to me
Mm-hmm.
back then. So
Mm-hmm.
I looked around. There weren't any satisfactory jobs for me. I was only 24, 25 back then. I started in the IT industry
Mm-hmm.
as a consultant and as a trainer.
Mm-hmm.
It was easy, quite
Okay.
easy to start as a trainer back then. It was also
Mm-hmm.
subsidized by the government.
Mm-hmm.
There were various training programs. So I did that. And
Mm-hmm.
it was very primitive, the IT industry
Mm-hmm.
in Cyprus, because I started from Cyprus, as I said. Very, very
Mm-hmm.
primitive. Not
Mm-hmm.
really ready to accept women, uh,
Mm-hmm.
but the teaching role was just right for that time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I taught for about, I think it must have been 5 or 6 years until
Mm-hmm.
things started moving. Companies started installing networks and
Mm-hmm.
rather than just a PC somewhere in a corner. And
Mm-hmm.
from there on, I realized that there's more to IT than just
Mm-hmm.
accounting programs, word processing, as it was called then, programs
Mm-hmm.
to do the everyday jobs. There was much more to it.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, I started looking around at security products and networking solutions.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually trained in London on the then Data Protection Act, but it was too
Mm-hmm.
primitive. So
Mm-hmm.
I waited until
Mm-hmm.
the things matured so I could do what I actually wanted to do.
That's great. That's great. So basically, you started way before, all of these endpoint evolutions and, cybersecurity evolution. So could you tell us what inspired you to get into the IT field, especially the endpoint protection field, and how did you start actually in the IT industry?
Yeah. Well, I started completely by chance in the IT industry. It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
my initial goal. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to study economics. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that didn't happen. I had an uncle
Mhm.
who was opening a college in our town.
Mhm.
Uh, I was an A student. He gave me a
Mhm.
scholarship, and the rest is
Mhm.
history. Um,
Wow.
I was 18 years
Mhm.
old. I never
Mhm.
looked back since then. IT
Mhm.
is it's the perfect profession
Mhm.
for anyone to get into. And as
Mhm.
I always say, IT is like the science of information technology is something like
Mhm.
medicine. There's so many
Mhm.
specializations, so many
Yeah.
interesting things, and it's ever
Mhm.
evolving and
Yeah.
um, endless. And there's endless
Yes.
inspiration. And
Mhm.
working with a company like Manage Engine, the sky's
Mhm.
the limit.
Yeah. Yes, that's absolutely right. So, how do you think cybersecurity has actually transformed or evolved from where you started? I think you mentioned that you started with just antivirus being the only security solutions. So, how do you think it has evolved with time?
Sure. Um, as I said, and for viewers as well, I started in the antivirus industry, rather getting
Mm-hmm.
to know the antivirus
Mm-hmm.
industry when I was still in
Mm-hmm.
London. But
Mm-hmm.
on my return to Cyprus and forming Channel IT,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I was joined by my brother Christofi, uh,
Mm-hmm.
who changed the outlook completely. He
Mm-hmm.
showed to me how I could, introduce more ideas and cybersecurity um, uh, solutions that were around. There weren't many back then. There weren't many, and
Mm-hmm.
those that were available were extremely um, expensive or difficult
Mm-hmm.
to implement.
Mm-hmm.
So we were looking around
Mm-hmm.
the market, the international market. We decided
Mm-hmm.
to specialize in the antivirus industry because
Mm-hmm.
back then the antivirus was a big thing,
Mm-hmm.
and it was the nearest to what we have to endpoint security
Mm-hmm.
back then.
Yeah.
So uh, joining Manage Engine in
Mm-hmm.
2006 changed our perspective completely. Uh,
Mm.
and I guess, cybersecurity was evolving, but
Mm-hmm.
Cyprus, Greece, and Greece being small countries, they're not
Mm.
really catching up at the same speed.
Mm.
Now is the time, I believe, to actually uh, perfect uh,
Mm.
our cybersecurity infrastructures.
Great. So you started like way early. So I think people in your region would have had a different perspective, or how did your people, react to your organization, or how did they perceive your organization back then when you started? When I'm pretty sure you would have been one of the very few companies that focused on data protection and security. And where do you think you stand now in Cyprus and Greece market?
Well, when I started and when I was on my own the first few years, obviously
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't taken that seriously. That's why, as I said, I stayed in sort of female, feminine roles of consulting and
Mm,
training. I couldn't actually,
mm,
uh, get cables and go and start doing networks and things. That
mm-hmm.
completely alien to
Yeah,
our society. I avoided that.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yes, there was a prejudice, and
Mm,
I have to say that the prejudice was rather from the older generation. It wasn't from my
mm,
generation.
mm,
Uh, Things have got better with the years.
mm.
That's the good
Yeah.
thing. things are a lot better.
Yes.
And now, where Channel IT stands, after a lot of turmoil, a lot of
Mm.
changes that we've been through over the last
Mm-hmm.
35 years, I think
Mm.
now we are finally on the right track. And
Mm-hmm.
we have two tracks. One is the
Mm-hmm.
distribution, where management
Mm.
comes under, and the other is
Mm-hmm.
the professional services that we offer.
Mm-hmm.
We offer
Yeah.
professional services to our partners and to
Mm-hmm.
customers. Uh,
Mm.
we have a fantastic team of engineers, the highest
Mm-hmm.
caliber. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
we don't have any ladies on our team, and therefore, this is an open
Mm-hmm.
invitation to any lady
Yeah.
in Greece, Cyprus, or Malta that
Mm-hmm.
wants to join us and be
Yes.
trained to become
Mm-hmm.
either a cybersecurity expert, an ITSM
Mm-hmm.
expert.
Yeah.
We're a university on our own.
Mm-hmm.
I
Great. That
think
that is actually
that
great.
some of our colleagues will actually say
Mm-hmm.
in future interviews that we might.
While we're talking about management partnership, so you were one of the very early, you had your partnership with us from the very early 2000s, right? So what is your, standpoint on the ME partnership that Channel IT has?
We couldn't have wished for a better partnership. It's one that
Mm-hmm.
evolved very, very slowly because we
Mm-hmm.
started, we must never forget that Manage Engine started with difficult products like OP Manager, network
Mm-hmm.
configuration stuff. That was difficult back then for our market to comprehend and to
Mm-hmm.
adopt. Thankfully, things have become a lot easier.
Yeah.
Companies have uh, slowly decided that no, they not decided that rather they realized that
Mm-hmm.
spending a lot of money on you know big brands
Mm-hmm.
and then having them sit in a corner of the office in boxes is not the
Mm.
solution. There's other
Yeah.
solutions that are much more accessible, dependable,
Mm-hmm.
and easy to implement. And
Mm-hmm.
in the long run, they will do your job and save you money. And that's
Yeah.
what Manage Engine does for our customers at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Great. Mm-hmm.
it's the perfect partnership, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very happy.
We're glad to have this partnership with Channel IT in the Greece and Cyprus market. So, back to our women in tech topic. So, were there any challenges that you faced in being a woman in the IT or tech industry? And did you have any difficulty in putting across your opinions in the early years of your career in your company?
We will always have difficulties, Suli. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, either men or women.
Mm-hmm.
I try not to, when I have issues putting a view over. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think it's because I'm a woman at the moment, at least. But in
Mm-hmm.
the older times, yes, yes. Up to some years ago, I believe that there was a prejudice. But
Mm-hmm.
uh, times change, and the
Yeah.
what has changed things a lot is the advent of the internet. It's opened
Mm-hmm.
people's minds, and
Mm-hmm.
um, uh, both men and women's minds are more
Mm-hmm.
open. Of course, there are a lot of dangers, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and the biggest danger, I think, is fooling ourselves that
Mm-hmm.
we 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 know too much. We at the end of the
Mm,
day, uh, if we don't humble ourselves and work with others,
mm,
either men or women, we will not
mm,
go further. It's
mm.
what I say. It's the power is in teamwork.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. Were there any, challenges that you had difficulty with, and what motivated you to push through those challenges and reach your goals?
As I said, up until we met Manage Engine, it was a very, very tough ride. Uh, we we were concentrating on the area of the market that, although was important, uh, there wasn't enough. Perhaps people didn't take it seriously enough. That was my challenge, but that wasn't a challenge as a woman. It was a challenge as an IT professional. Now, as a woman and as a woman that is aging in the IT industry, I see myself that um, although I have a larger insight as to things that are going on, I find myself sometimes, when I have ideas, pushing it to the younger people to to sort of put across. I don't do it
Yeah.
myself. So yes, I guess it is a challenge being a woman in the IT market, and especially an older woman in the IT.
Yeah. Um, so, what really inspires you to get you through the day, and what motivates you, in this field? Can you share some of your, something that motivates you every
Sure.
single day?
I think that what motivates me as a person is my love for my family first, my love for my colleagues, because my colleagues are my extended family,
Yeah.
and my great admiration and respect for those I work with, meaning Manage Engine. I am happy to get up every morning and go to work. Uh,
Yeah.
and I hope and that you know I'm here and healthy for some time to come and able to give back to the industry.
Yes. Yes. Definitely. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank
We're glad, we had this opportunity to get your side of the story as a woman in tech industry. As a final question, what would your advice be for women or girls aspiring to enter into the tech industry?
Well, I would say that they should study at whatever age they are. Uh, Someone who is not at school age can study IT.
Yeah.
They don't have to start young, but what you have to do is study and at some point specialize. It's very important
Yeah.
to specialize in the IT industry and
Yeah.
know very well what you're doing. It's very easy, to put titles on us, uh, cybersecurity expert. But at the end of the day, can you do the job?
Yes.
That is the question. So, because we are women, we have to be doubly diligent with what we do.
Yes.
So no one, can say a word about us.
Yeah.
But
Very true. That is.
the other thing,
Yeah.
I also said it earlier. I invite ladies in Greece, Cyprus, and Malta. which is our
Yeah.
recently
Mm-hmm.
formed office and territory. To join Channel IT, we have
Mm-hmm.
uh, an application link on our website,
Mm-hmm.
and they will receive training,
Mm-hmm.
manage engine standard training.
Mm-hmm.
You always like to keep up to your standards
Yeah.
to become good IT specialists in
Mm-hmm.
whatever area
That is
you
great.
decide.
That is actually great to hear. I think we have something similar here called the Zoho Schools, but that's a great opportunity for women in your region. So I guess you could like help them out, get to wherever they want and reach their goals. That's truly an amazing idea that you have in Channel IT. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us today. And I think that brings us to the end of this episode. Until we meet again in another episode, this is Sioli Kingsley signing off.